The COVID crisis has increased mental health concerns for individuals and families. We get great advice from Ana Paciencia Block on how to maintain a positive outlook for better mental health. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose to get lost in the woods to gain experience in forest management.
Choose to travel through time to understand the past.
Choose to soar to pursue a career in dance.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, offering primary, specialty, and urgent care, plus surgery and more. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.
Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. As many of us struggle through the COVID crisis, mental health is top of mind. I'm happy to have Ana Paciencia Block with us. She is the CEO and bilingual clinical director, as well as a therapist in our local community. She is with NEWMIND Psychology Services, LLC. Ana, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you so much, Bert. I'm very happy to be here. This is a great opportunity.
Well, listen, you know very well in your business that mental health has become more of a concern for many because of what we're going through right now with the COVID epidemic. Walk us through a little bit about how serious of a problem this is and what basically is the root cause of this, obviously stress, but walk us through a little bit about how this is impacting individuals.
Sure. Well, I would say that it's a multi-layered stressful situation because most of us have experienced loss of many levels of freedom and normalcy, you know, from wearing masks that a lot of people resent in spite of the fact that, you know, we know doctors recommend us to wear masks. But it's understandable that this is something that we never did before, and that now we feel like forced to do it, even if it is for our own good. Then we have lost, for example, employment in many cases, which means we have lost income for those who are not working right now, or a reduction of income. Therefore, we feel the threat of the safety of simple things like having a home because we're afraid that we may lose that stability. We have lost at home the sense of privacy because when we were able to go to work, to go to school, and come back home, we had different niches for our persona during the day, during the week. And now we feel confined. And the sense of privacy that we had before to be with ourselves, just with ourselves.
And I know this is certainly a big impact, particularly within the minority community. Folks with less resources obviously are going through a lot. Now you have some slides you want to share with us to kind of walk us through a little bit about the impacts here.
Yes, I'll be happy to. So the slides are going to talk about the impact of how we look at things and how this impacts mental health. So I'm going to start here. I have an event X. In the face of any event, good or bad, we have thoughts about that event and perceptions about that event. Those thoughts produce chemicals in the brain. And those chemicals are responsible for the feelings that follow. And those feelings produce chemicals that generate reactions in the body, in the mind, and in decisions. So I would like to exemplify this a little bit with some negative and positive responses to our circumstances. For example, if we have no job, no money to buy gifts for Christmas, for example, if we cannot meet with family due to COVID, or we are just tired of this word COVID and all that it requires from us, there are two different types of reactions we can have. On one hand, the thoughts that may come more spontaneously is, I can't provide for my family, life is terrible, I am not worthy, this is not going to be Christmas, I miss my family, this is horrible. And the feelings that are going to come naturally from these thoughts are, I feel worthless, hopeless, sad, angry, anxious. And the fascinating thing is that this type of emotions produce chemicals that are responsible for how the body reacts. So for example, if we are sad, we will feel tired and the body doesn't want to move. We don't want to get up from bed. If we are angry, the body gets tense and we feel like yelling, hitting, punching. So whatever we feel will have an impact even on our bodies. Then the impact will be also on the mind. If we have negative feelings because of the negative thoughts, more negative thoughts are going to come. And we are going to feel like the world is closing in on us and everything will look dark and hopeless. And
Now,
then we may...
I'm assuming that obviously with COVID, when you have all these negative feelings, there must be a way to have some positive thinking. If you could find some positive thinking, and do you think that that's going to help the situation so that the body is reacting in a different way?
Absolutely, it's a very good observation, because in a positive outlook, which we must learn to develop at this point, it's not only nice, it is almost a survival skill that we need to learn to develop a positive outlook from the same situation. So, okay, no job, no money to buy gifts, we cannot meet with the family due to COVID, and we have COVID fatigue, but that's the situation. But if we look for positive thoughts, for example, saying, I am alive, we have each other, whether it be friends, whether it be your spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, your children, we have roof over our heads, we have food. We can think also it's better to be safe than sorry, better to be safe than get sick. So if we think like this, the chemicals that will be produced by positive thoughts will produce wonderful feelings, like feelings of gratitude, feelings of excitement, of motivation, and feeling festive no matter what. That is, for example, what I choose to do. No matter what, I'm going to celebrate. I am going to have restrictions. I may not be able to see one of my sons and maybe my grandsons, and that
this
hurts
is something
me.
that all of us are going through, but
Exactly.
this is very difficult to have, particularly when you're facing this challenge. You have that positive attitude, but I know that you have some tips that you could share with us on how we can maintain that positive attitude.
Yeah, so one way to help the brain to develop a positivity and to break the sense of being stuck with negative thinking is one that scientifically has been proven. if we take some time in the morning and in the evening to write on a little piece of paper about 5 or more positive things in our lives. For example, again, I have children, I have food, my home is warm, I love the painting in this corner, I love the colors of the walls, whatever it is, doesn't have to be fancy.
And I know you have several more that's filed together. We don't want to rush going through that list. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back to that list to learn more about that, how to keep that positive attitude. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Ana Palencia Block. She is the CEO for NEWMIND Psychology Services, and we were just going through, Ana, the great tips that you had, how to have that positive attitude. And I know we left off, you had the number one, who's writing things down, positive things down. Let's go through that list again and go through all 5 recommendations.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Bert. So, yes, for number one that is scientifically recognized is to every morning and evening write 5 things or more that you're grateful for, that are positive in your life. Things that happened today, last night, all last week, or things in general that you have at this time in your life. And then number 2, contemplate on them, because this is a struggle between contemplating what you lack and contemplating what you have, contemplating the bad and ugly or the beautiful and wonderful you have. We all have something wonderful, many wonderful things, and some bad things. That's life. Number 3, break your daily routine and do something different, just for a change. The brain needs routine and a little break here and there. Then number 4, make a list of COVID-safe activities such as walking in nature, driving around holiday decorated homes, or go window shopping, go for a walk with your kids or with your spouse, with your boyfriend, girlfriend. And number 5, focus on what you have control on, not on what you don't. For example, focus on little things like, what am I going to cook today? And try to enjoy that choice. Focus on what you're going to wear today and enjoy getting dressed nicely, feeling good about yourself. Focus on what TV program you're going to watch or what activities you're going to do, instead of focusing on what you don't have.
It's great advice. And unfortunately, there's still issues that come up, particularly with relationships. So I just want to switch over to that. And let's talk first about the parent-child relationships. Many kids are, obviously staying home, going through virtual classrooms. Some parents are working from home. Let's talk about that relationship between child and parent.
Okay, so I guess number 1 is to remember that the way the child feels will stem from how the parent feels. And that's why it is so important for parents to learn to make oneself feel good individually and among each other. It is a little bit stressful. As much as we love our kids, it is at times challenging to be a parent. So let's be understanding with oneself. Let's be kind to oneself and not judge yourself if you make mistakes. And let's try to bring the best in you, remembering that this is a challenging time. Compassion about yourself, compassion about your spouse, compassion for your child, compassion and kindness can go miles and miles.
I'm sorry, there were several recommendations that you made, such as writing down the positive things. Maybe that's something that people could do, parents could do with their children as well.
about everything. Yes, and focus on what the child is doing nicely. Maybe the child has a lovely smile. Don't focus on the child that did something wrong. Actually, for discipline, it is recommended that you don't focus on what they do wrong, but that you focus and magnify what they do right, because they want to connect emotionally with you, and they will connect either through your criticism and getting mad for what they didn't do right, or because you got excited and grateful and appreciative when they do something correctly. So we just need to learn to change a little bit our focus. This is a matter of focus. Focus on what is good. And you will immediately, because that's how the brain works, you will immediately begin to feel better. The same life, the same world, the same situation will look wonderful or horrible. And you have the choice.
Let's switch a different relationship, which is couples, right? That this is also a trying time for many couples, particularly when the husband might be laid off, the wife may not be working. It certainly puts a stress on relationships. What advice do you give to maintain a healthy relationship?
Yeah, it is helpful, I believe, to understand that you are going through a lot of heavy weight for the stressors that we are facing, and therefore be patient and kind to yourself and to the spouse. And then again, we have to go back to focus on what is good. But besides that, there are some things that one can do to de-stress oneself. For example, doing exercise. If you are mad, if you are upset, when you feel like you're about to snap, go in the bathroom and jump 50 times, 20 times, 100 times, and your body will start getting blood circulating in your brain. And as soon as that happens, the brain comes down. The body may feel a bit tired, but the brain comes down, relaxes, and you see things clearly. When you're mad, when you're upset, the brain contracts, the blood flow is restricted, and you get blind, and that's how people lose it. So at that time, let's do some drastic exercise if you can. If you cannot do exercise, deep breathing can also help you. Just breathe deep, hold it for a few seconds, and then relax. And then do this a few times, and you will see how your body relaxes and you feel much better. Take time, even if it is a few minutes, for yourself to calm down, to tell yourself how much you love yourself, how great you are in the ways that you recognize yourself. Don't wait only for your stressed out spouse to tell you beautiful things. You go to the mirror and tell yourself how great you look today, and how many good qualities you have, because that will make you feel better. And if you feel better, it will impact everybody around you, your spouse, the kids, the dog, the cat, everybody.
Just a quick question. At what point do you think it's important to seek professional help?
Oh, well, all along, you don't need to wait till there's crisis, because, in the past, it was believed that you need professional help when you are crazy. Some people think, no, professional help can coach you, can guide you through difficult times, and you will learn. This is an opportunity to grow. And it's like a sports coach will help you learn how to play sports. A therapist will help you learn how to play life during difficult times like COVID times.
Well, this is a great advice. And we want to talk a little bit about the holidays. So we're going to take a quick break and talk about how we survive through the holidays and keep a safe and healthy mind. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Ana Plasencia Black. She is the CEO of NEWMIND Psychology Service, LLC. And Ana, we were talking about the big stresses that COVID puts upon us as individuals and in relationships. And now we're getting ready to go into the big Christmas holiday. This is especially a stressful time for many. Tell me a little bit about the advice that you would give for maintaining a healthy state of mind during the holiday season.
Thanks, Bert. Basically, we have to make a big adjustment from what we're used to. And I was just mentioning during the intermission to Bert that I believe that immigrants have a greater capacity to adjust just because we have been adjusting since day one when we came through the border or from the airplane. You know, we have been adjusting to a different language, a different weather, different culture altogether. So this is one more time when we need to adjust and be open to adjust and make the most of it. Remember, when you first arrived, for many individuals, you came with hope, with not much more than hope, and you made it, and you can continue making it right now at this hard time.
That's great advice. And Ana, I know you mentioned earlier on about the difficulty some people were having just to wear the mask. I guess the real issue for many is making that transition, that this year might be different than the year past. Maybe it's not the same type of the way you celebrate the holidays, and just making that mental shift may be difficult for some.
Yes, and I would say that we have to focus on people. If we have been focusing on gifts, material gifts, buying toys for the kids, buying clothes, whatever it is, it's time to focus on us. If your child has you and has you at home, it's an opportunity to bond and be wealthy at bonding, wealthy in learning to interact with each other beautifully, lovingly, kindly, patiently. And just to opportunity to hug each other, to tell each other wonderful things. It is an opportunity to be a human at our best on one hand. But I also would like to, with your permission, I would like to talk to the community at large and to the individuals who may not be stressing out at this time because of finances. Let's be human also. Let's look around us. Let's think about the neighbor and being a good neighbor. This is one of the most central American values. Let's look around us and think of people that we may have seen on the street or in different daily interactions. Let's think about others and share.
Well, Ana, as a Latina, that Latinos do celebrate Christmas, and there's great opportunities to be able to do that, and perhaps not the same way, but still have your family, maybe even if it's virtually, to have communications with the family. I just want to bring up, you made an important point about getting the community involved. I know that the Hispanic Association is also taking this opportunity to maintain the Three Kings tradition. We've debated whether or not it should be canceled or not, but we're going to be doing a walkthrough where we are actually limiting the number of people that come in to give toys and be able to still celebrate that very important Latino tradition. This year is going to be held over at the St. Michael's, and you have to make an appointment. We do have a registration, but it will still give the opportunity to give many families who may not have had something for Christmas to at least receive a toy from the Three Kings. So we're putting that poster up, and hopefully those could register for that as well. You made a good point. Helping is helping others. Also, give you that good sense that mental health relief that is so much needed during this time.
Absolutely. We not, I guess for some of us, we may feel even happier when we give than when we receive. Receiving is wonderful, but giving, especially at this time, and giving to people in need, it's even more powerful. So let's consider that mind. And in some, let's focus on the good that we have. And mostly the wealth and the greatest richness is to have each other, humans, to have. Yes.
I know that the Latinos celebrate family in a big way, and one of the biggest issues, obviously, is being away from family, and particularly maybe some of the older seniors maintaining their mental health during this time. What additional advice do you give, particularly to the seniors?
If seniors have family that they cannot meet in person, let's try to encourage each other. Let's look at this situation as temporary. God willing, and according to research, the vaccines, all the effort that the medical world is making, the scientific world, let's hope that this will be done sooner than later. And in the meantime, we say in Spanish, al mal tiempo buena cara. So we also say in English, if you get lemons, let's make lemonade. And lemonade is good. So it's a time for growth. It's a bit hard at times, but let's make the most of it. Let's think away from ourselves a lot of the time. Let's do something for others, because that will give back a sense of satisfaction that money alone will not do. So let's take care of each other at this time. Let's truly, love each other in action. Remember to try to develop a steady routine, and at the same time break the routine a little bit, because that helps the brain. Look at the sunshine and let the sun shining fill your heart. Look at a bottle that is half full or half empty. Choose to see it half full instead of focusing on the half empty.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Wish you a Merry Christmas, and please say hello to your husband, Martin. I just saw him today, so
hello.
Merry Christmas to the family. And once again, thank you, everyone, for joining us at home. That's all the time we have. See you next time here on Latino Motion.
Choose to get your feet wet. To learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, offering primary, specialty, and urgent care, plus surgery and more. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.